Again, Broncos country.
Really excited to chop up some Broncos with you all this week.
Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS.
Favorite time of the week. We're not for the Raiders, Chargers, or Chiefs. So grab your brews in your fantasy league. We got that blue and orange blood that you bleed. The most loyal fans there ever could be. We are that mile high Broncos country.
Orange Weekly. Fans, brews, and Broncos news. What is up, Broncos country, and welcome to another edition of Bourbon, Broncos, and no BS. My name is Kev Dan. We got Jared and David and all these great guys. All the fantastic. It's going to be a fun show. I know the topics we're going to talk about are going to be very frustrating and sad and painful, but we're going to have fun amongst ourselves. So post your comments, post your questions. Want to hear what you guys have to say. I thought Jared was already like, I'm done with this. I don't even want to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, that's all I needed. That's all I needed.
Yep, you're done. You made an appearance.
Yep. Oh man.
Kat, how you doing? Glad you're watching. So guys, here we are. What do you think? What do you think?
Somebody wants to say hi real quick.
Making her live appearance.
Hi.
Her live debut.
She wants to make her live debut. Sorry, she wouldn't let me go on without saying hi first. Oh, okay. Now you're going to be shy? All right. All right, baby girl.
Jared, it's a good thing
right.
she didn't get her looks, man.
Oh, thank God. Oh, man. That'd be
on
scary.
that, I'm glad we started right there because I have something to say about Jared's looks, specifically a bearded look that he was trying to pull off during
I might say,
during his vacation.
Thank you, Kevin.
You would say there's some toadying going on there, I think. I'm honor bound. I've made a pact with Jared's wife, and you all know the affection I have for Jared's wife. I've got to boo Jared here live on the show. And so it'll be nice to take a break from booing the Broncos and boo you, Jared. A boo.
Boo. Are you a ghost or are you booing me because I did something wrong?
Yes.
I don't know whether to be scared or shameful.
Right, yeah, exactly. You should be feeling a lot of bad emotions right now. That's what your beard made me feel.
Okay.
But now now that's done and we can move past it.
We can move past it and go back to booing the Broncos.
Yes. And we will.
What's up, Rob?
And we will. This is a there's a reason we're drinking straight scotch tonight. I don't know where to start.
Start at the beginning, man. Just start at the beginning.
Okay, well, it was about 1989. My parents were together doing something dirty, and
fast forward a little. Fast forward a little.
Fast forward a little. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no. So here's the problem. We just lost to what was arguably and debatably the worst team in the league. And now that makes us
for the second
worst
time
team
in
the
season.
league.
For the second time this season, we lost to that team.
I was talking about the Panthers.
Oh, I'm still on the Raiders. The losses.
You were a week behind, big dog. We had a game 2 days ago. Did you even know, or was it just like a?
We just blocked that out of our memory already.
Yeah, well, I watched about three-quarters of it, and see, because the Panthers colors are silver and black, the Raiders colors silver and black.
Yeah.
You
were just in the
offense-
fetal position the whole time, weren't you?
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you be? Did you see the games? I mean, we lost to Sam Darnold, for God's sake. Like, oof.
What was it, Jared, your wife said during the game? You
She
put
said
in
a lot of
in the
things.
chat? No, she said. So apparently Jared's wife had said, couldn't we have Sam Darnold instead or something along those lines?
No, that was John's wife.
Oh,
Yeah,
John's
that was
wife.
John.
Oh, okay.
That was John's wife who
John,
like looked at
Jared.
him completely serious. He says and goes, "Why don't we have that quarterback? That quarterback's really good."
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, everything hurts.
Well, David, what do you think, man? Yeah, everything hurts, but like, yeah, like, ow, I don't even know what to ask.
How everybody get some snow today? I know Jared didn't. What was the weather like for you today?
I did
Jared?
not.
Deflect.
I did not.
Deflect.
Yeah.
It was a very cold 55 degrees. Very chilly.
Yeah.
Had to wear a coat.
Got that desert winter going on. We're
Yeah.
we got a little snow.
Here's the problem that I'm struggling with, and maybe some of our viewers can help me out here. Normally, I'm trying to be positive at this point. Normally, I'm trying to be like, you know what? Rebuild year, first time quarterback, first time coach. We'll get it in the off season. The problem is that we've traded away any hope of making any change in the next. Even if we get a new coach, do you think a new coach is going to come here and just magically fix the fact that we can't score?
No,
I don't think so. I think getting a new coach is. I mean, I've been very public about this. I think getting a new coach is a public scapegoat. Everyone wants a public scapegoat, and it's obviously not going to be Russell Wilson because we paid him way too much money and we traded everything for him. I don't see where the upside is, and no matter what the recommendation I see from other people, on social media or in the news, no matter what I see for the recommendation of fire this guy, get this guy in, new guy here, blah, blah, blah. None of it makes me go, yeah, that'll fix it. None of it. Mm-hmm. And that sucks.
Yeah. And look, we're going to have to start over with a new head coach. I think that just the direction the team's going to go. And David, we were talking before the show and say, how much of a hot seat is George Payton in, because it's the new ownership group.
Yeah. It's the new ownership group who didn't pick George Payton. And it's, you've got some good draft picks on George Payton's side to go with. But you've also got the Russell Wilson trade, which is, going to be assigned to George Payton in execution. And, like we were talking about, Kev, ownership, I think, is going to rebuild this organization from the quarterback out. They're going to find the coaches. I know, Jared, I mean, it makes you cringe, but you just said it. You just said it. That's where the money's allocated. That's where the money's allocated, for better or for worse. I don't think it's a great way to build the organization either, but I think they're going to do it to suit Russell Wilson as best they can, as fast as they can, because I think they will also be quick enough to move on from him, maybe even as soon as after next year, if they don't see a drastic improvement. So despite the money they paid him, I think they want to get out from under all of this as soon as possible. And first, that means giving Russell Wilson the best opportunity, quote unquote, whatever that ends up meaning, right. As far as getting him coaching staff and getting him a front office staff that will support his vision for the team. And then if that doesn't work, I think they're going to be willing to move on from that pretty quickly too.
Yeah. There was some talk of what would it take to get rid of Russell Wilson, and a whole lot of, crazy, wild theories. And, people have to realize that, if we were to get rid of him after this year, we would have $100 million in dead cap space.
Yeah.
$100 million.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't. So, for people who are saying, I'm sick of him, I don't want him here anymore. I don't know what to tell you. He's going to be here for at least a little bit while longer.
Yeah.
And you're right. I think, to both your point and Jared's point earlier, it's not going to be a problem that's fixed overnight. I mean, if anybody out there cheers for joy come, Black Monday and finds out Hackett's fired, and goes, yay, we're going to finally get a head coach. We're going to win. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. Man, I love the energy. I love the optimism. But let's pump our brakes a little bit. Let's look at where we're at. Start counting out. Is that for next year or this year?
That's how many coaches we've gotten that we've said, yeah, new coach, new us.
Yeah, exactly.
Approximately 1, 2, 3.
3. Okay, good.
I needed that. I needed that to help me out. Yeah.
But
Definitely
where
paints
is
a
it here?
picture.
Yeah, there seems to be low team spirit among the players, and it's a cultural problem. You bring in a new head coach that is a strong leader, and we can go into this rabbit hole, but you find a guy that you trust to be able to deliver an improving team year in, year out to help rebuild that culture, right? And so I think these are all things that the owners are considering because, again, we just don't know at what level of cleaning the house they're going to do. They're going to stop with Hackett. They're going to go higher up. What is that going to look like, and what does that mean for the team moving forward?
There is something to be said about, and I always come to the back of coaches, and I'm on the same level. I don't know where Hackett's going to go, and I think he will be the scapegoat ultimately. And but there's a level of, it's not at this point in the season when you're 3 and whatever we are, 9, right?
8.
Is that 3 and 8? So
Yeah.
when you get to 3 and 8, you're a losing team. It doesn't matter who the head coach is. There's gonna be low spirits. You could have the greatest coach in the world in that locker room, and nobody's gonna come out of that locker room and be like, "Yeah, we're good. Everyone's playing for each other. We're still in a good mood, good spirit." Like losing has its problems, and that's one of them. Is that it doesn't matter who says it. You could have Vince Lombardi stand up there and give you the halftime speech of the century, and you're going to still probably be pissed off and have low team spirit. That's just how it is when you're a losing team.
Yeah. And would you guys, not to, because it just was such a big moment during the game of, such low lights. But are we starting to maybe finally see some of that division between what happened on the field between Purcell and Russ? Is that an insight to the locker room of the defense looking across the other side of the room saying, we're done carrying the weight for you guys, or, you can't count on us to win these games for you every week. I think that tension is building there, and I don't want to speculate into what was said or anything like that, right? But I think you are seeing these guys getting frustrated with each other to some degree too.
Yeah, for sure. It's what we've just been talking about. There's no team culture in the locker room there. It's the defense is willing to play for each other, but I just, it doesn't seem like they're willing to go out there and stick it on the line for the offense anymore, because the offense just can't execute.
No.
It's like the parts don't mesh together right now, and you can point to the injuries and you can point to all of the things if you want to point to all of the things, but it's a badly coached team right now, and that's it's a badly executing team, and the players have their share of the blame for sure, but there's failures all around here. There can't, and you're right, Jared. Hackett's definitely going to be a scapegoat at the end of this season, but he's not entirely blameless here either.
No, he's definitely not. I don't think there's anybody in this organization
neither's
blameless.
And neither's Clint Kubiak. And I know we all really wanted that to be a magic solution that was going to fix everything, and it's not. And
and if you think about it, he's still calling plays from the same playbook. All you're doing is getting somebody else to decide on what plays to run.
Mm-hmm.
So if the system is incredibly flawed to the degree that it is for us, changing who's picking which calls is not going to make that much of a difference unless you add plays or change it, or whatever the case is. But
is this Hackett he had the same playbook in Green Bay when he was there, didn't he?
I believe so.
I'm pretty sure he took the same playbook. So it's successful one place, not in another. Right. And you're okay. Now everybody says the play calls that, he's just calling the wrong plays at the wrong time. So then you switch it up and you give it to somebody else. And now he's calling wrong plays at the wrong time. And then
that tells me
the offensive line
system
isn't
is
blocking.
flawed.
The offensive line isn't blocking long enough. And then the receivers aren't catching balls. And so at some point there's a common denominator here, and it's not the playbook. It's not the playbook. Like you could put a blame, and again, guys, he's not blameless in this. He made a lot of mistakes early on. He's still making mistakes as it comes down. You obviously could tell he lost the locker room, and that's what happens when a 3-8 team. And he's gonna feel the pain for it at the end of this year, most likely, if not before. But what's frustrating me is that everyone's pointing to him and thinking, oh, if we get in a new head coach who's been there and a new offense coordinator, all of a sudden we're going to be able to score 30 points a game, and it's just not going to happen because our guys aren't executing. The offense is not executing. There's been plays that we've had, so many plays that we've had that we could have scored on, and we did. The perfect example of a Broncos game this season was the end of that Carolina game where we had 2 minutes left, down by 2.5 scores. And it took us 3 times to score. We had 3 touchdowns called, 2 touchdowns called back.
Yeah, it took us 7
We had 2
plays
touchdowns called back. Yeah,
within the 10 yards
because we kept biting ourselves in the foot. And then there was incomplete passes that were wide open guys, and there was it's just that last 3 minutes of watching, knowing as you're watching it, throwing up in your mouth, knowing that there's no way we win this game, and still watching that, you're just like, wow, if this isn't the definition of Broncos football right now.
Yeah.
No,
or
guys,
getting that muffed punt in that game and just being absolutely certain that was going to lead to no points or at maximum 3 points.
Knowing.
And
3 points only because you're already in field goal range.
Yeah, because you got the muff punt.
Right. Yeah, getting it at the 25 and wondering how far you're going to go backwards on this drive between
forward.
penalty yards and sacks. And
it's like, well, we can take a couple penalties and a sack and still be in field goal range.
Right.
So we're okay.
As long just throw the ball away once, Russ. That's all.
Right.
We need.
Just once.
Yeah.
Look, guys, bringing in a new head coach is a start in the right direction. When you're looking at a cultural problem like we have right now, it's not going to be fixed with new leadership up top overnight. I hate to say it, the winning culture for the Broncos doesn't exist. It exists within Broncos country. We have that expectation of this team. We are holding them to the same standard we've held them every year, and it is incredibly high. This is an incredibly tough place to play for because Broncos fans know football, and we have an expectation for this team to do well. That doesn't seem to be the case within the Broncos organization. They don't feel it just never seems, especially this year, it doesn't feel like they are as passionate about it. And I know they're the ones out there putting their bodies on the line and everything, right? I get that, but coaches like, oh yeah, it's the Raiders game, yeah, whatever. You don't have to necessarily believe it. But why isn't Hackett out there like, this is a big game for us? This is a big game for Broncos country. We understand the rivalry, just acknowledging those kinds of things, right? To give the impression that, hey, we do care, because when we see the performance on the field, it's like, whatever you say at this point is just terrible. It's like, I don't believe anything you say or whatever, but I don't know. So
if you go back to, I think, who does get it? Mike Purcell. I think he's pissed. And I think,
I'm not saying I'm not saying they don't care, but yeah.
Well, it's the front guys, right? It's the guys that are getting in front of the media, Hackett, Russell, those are the guys that are going to not say something. You know who I'd be interested to talk to? And I wonder if we could reach out to him. And I know everybody would be pissed off because they kind of hate him as he left. Melvin Gordon. I want to hear from his. I want to hear from his point of view. I would love to hear from his point of view about what is going on. For reals though. And it might be on the surface. No, we just can't put it together. We just can't seem to click. It's just not working out for us. It might be that, but he's been part of winning organizations before, and he knows what it's like to win. He also knows what it's like to lose. So I'd be interested to hear what he says because he kind of got run out. And the other thing too is the Mike Purcell thing. Just going back to that for a second is when they asked Russ about what happened there, He said basically like, oh no, we're good. He wasn't yelling at me. He's just mad. I'm mad. Like, we're just angry at like the situation that we need to do better. He was just telling me that we all need to do better. We need to do better. What that tells me is that as he was leaving after he was leaving the field after getting scored on, Russ was like, it's okay, guys. Everything's okay, guys. It's fine. And he was like, no, it's not okay, dude. It is not fine. We are getting our ass kicked by the worst team in the league right now. Like, it is not fine. And that's the attitude. I think that's the attitude. Why doesn't everybody have that attitude?
Why is Purcell yelling at Russ that information? Yeah. Like, no. I mean, can you imagine?
Sometimes it's good to have cool, calm, and collected. Sometimes it's good to have cool, calm, and collected when you're in games and you can be able to drive through. But he's shown that he's cool, calm, and collected and still can't finish off the game.
Right.
He can't. He's had the ball in his hands. We've had the ball in our hands for winning drives in 4 of our losses, and have had nothing to show for it. So
I mean, there was at one point a stat in the game where we had 18 drives since our previous touchdown. And then I'm fairly certain we went 6 or 7 more drives in that game before getting another touchdown after that. So, you can't just clap your hands every time the other team scores and tell you guys it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's a question for you fellas, and it's a little bit of an ambush question, so feel free to just say I don't know. But if your ownership, and Kevin, you were talking about it, there's just not a winning culture there right now. It doesn't exist. So if your ownership, how do you instill that?
First off, it's the realization that it takes time. And, this is something that within my job, I deal with all the time is, the organizational culture of small groups, large groups, whatever the case is. It has to take time. You also have to be willing to part with people that may be good players, but have become toxic, whether, just because of their frustration level. It's not saying that they are bad people. They're not, Antonio Brown or anything level of just straight up terrible people. Right. But if it's just like, dude, you just need a fresh start. We need a fresh start, and getting rid of those people, and that maybe make, several unpopular decisions, and we may be scratching your head going, why? But behind closed doors, it makes sense. Right. And that is going to then put you back even further for a little bit as you try to bring in fresh people with the right perspective, and honestly, probably people with better attitudes than performance to be, when you're trying to build an organization like that from the ground up, culture wise, attitude is huge, because you can have all of the best top talented people in there, but if half of them, a quarter of them are that toxic personality, you're not going to get that far, or it's just going to make it more painful, slow, and all that stuff. So for me, that's looking at from the leadership perspective, there's going to be some tough calls that need to be made. And it goes back to, you can fire Hackett because that's the media perspective, or, for the public perspective or whatever, but there's got to be a whole lot more than that needs to be done.
Quick follow-up question. What if your attitude and your competency are bad? What do you do in that scenario?
Oh, I mean, there's no reason to keep you at all. If you're just, then bye-bye.
I'm going to have to write some emails.
Okay. Yeah. You guys would have been fired already if I thought
my attitude and competency are both bad. So I will just see myself out.
We're all kind of on the same level at the very least. So I
see it differently. I think the Broncos for a long time has been a very a good guy aspect. Like we always do the right thing by our people. So I think what we need to do is in our world we call it shoot a hostage. So every once in a while, you got to shoot a hostage.
That can be very effective. Yeah,
it's a fear aspect. You got to take the fear aspect here, and just start getting rid of people as just by random, to pull it from a hat. Don't care what the money cap is. sorry, man, gotta go. You were good to the team, but you know what? We're not until we win a game. We're firing one person per day, so we're out of here until we can start winning games. That will not work. But I bring that up because there is no answer. There's no answer, and the biggest frustration here, and that's why Broncos country is frustrated, is there's no one answer that's going to fix this whole thing. And the biggest part of the whole thing is, it's not like we could start over. We're not in a position to start over. We can't sell the farm for picks because we don't have any.
Yeah,
like we don't have any players that anybody wants. We don't have any picks that anybody wants. The only people that we really could get rid of for top picks is maybe Cortland Sutton. Maybe we already got rid of Chubb.
Justin Simmons.
Maybe Pat Surtain, who we just got
contract, right? Yeah, and definitely PS2 is becoming a cornerstone for the defense.
I mean,
yeah, you get top.
Those are the only.
For him, but
those are the only 3 people on this team that we get a top pick for to start over. We're not starting over. We will not be able to start over until 2024.
Yeah,
max.
Yeah,
2025. The 2025 draft is when we get our first round pick back.
Yeah. What do you think, David? Your own question.
Fucking, I don't know.
I don't know.
Be better.
That's also a good answer.
Be better. Just do the billionaire thing that you do when you have more money than you'll ever be able to even like mentally conceive. Just use a lot of it and fix it. Make it good.
Right. Make it good.
Make it good from when it was bad.
Unfortunately, there's rules against just throwing money at the problem.
I mean,
there's
laws. I feel like there's rules against concealing that you're throwing money at the problem. I feel
that's why they say you slip it under the table. You don't throw it so everyone sees it. You slip it under the table. Nice and quiet.
I'm saying shoot a hostage. David's saying Lambos for everybody. David's Oprah right now, and
I want to use that funny Walmart money and fix it. That's all. I think you can make it a $1 billion Band-Aid. I think it's possible, and I want that. So yes, Jared's ready to shoot hostages. I'm still not entirely certain what that means, but
hey, to get people to listen to you, sometimes you got to shoot a hostage. That's
true.
Wait, now we're shooting hostages
to perk up.
Yeah, we're shooting the hostages.
Oh,
yeah.
God, I don't know that I'm ready to shoot a hostage.
David, if you want people to listen to you, sometimes you got to shoot a hostage.
I never even killed a mouse before, Jared. I don't. This is not the way I thought the show was gonna go.
Here we are.
Okay. We're not even halfway through yet.
This whole season hasn't gone the way we thought it would go.
True.
And here we are.
That's true. There's a lot. Now we've got to make decisions. Clayton fire, rehire. I don't know. Bring me a Giro Evero, and the rest can go. Dwayne Stukes is fine. I don't have anything in. Montreal, Washington was fun for a minute, but I think we can all agree that that's kind of over now. If you put 50 pounds on him, but he could still run at the same speed, you might really have something there. But I don't know. You can't mix and match. You got the guys you've got. Anyway. I know I'm probably guilty of scapegoating Hackett a lot. I don't know. We need a psychiatrist.
We need a change. Everybody.
I mean, that's the thing. No matter how much it's
short circuited.
You've gotta. But I think you're right. I think I'm getting exactly what you're laying down here. Like. You got to start over, even if it's not his fault. Like you've got to just because it's so bad.
Like something has there's at this point something has to change, and there's no way we're getting rid of all the money. So like the one thing I want to change is probably at least in my heart that I want to change is probably not going to change. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be the only cornerstone, the only thing that is going to stay for this team that is safe is the money, and the money is in Russ. And the rest of it's kind of like a crapshoot. Roll the dice. Figure out whoever can come in and shit. Here's a plan. fire every. Now I'm just okay.
Go.
We're not even halfway. We're just hit halfway through this show, and I'm already coming up with the crazy ridiculous. Other than shoot a hostage.
I mean, you've
Let
already
Russ coach
done
the
it.
team. Let Russ coach the team. He goes out there, calls his own plays. He can lead the offense and defense. He's obviously can just go out there. He's got all the money. Save the money and the coaches. Get some more players in there. Just let him run the plays.
Pay Peyton Manning whatever you need to pay Peyton Manning to come in here and be the head coach, and he'll know how to do it with Russ, and he'll know what to let Russ do for himself, and he'll know. I don't know, guys. I'm trying. As long as he doesn't have Eli.
Look, here at the end of the day, we are standing by the team. I mean, honestly, if we didn't care, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. So
we love you
We'd be
guys.
long
I will say.
But
So
no,
whoever this is, I do want to say this, and that statement, and we need to stand by Russ. Look, I will be the first person to tell you, if you've been following us for the last 7 years, I think we've been doing this. I am always going to stand by whoever we have. Right? Yeah. If he is in a Broncos uniform, he's on the Broncos, he or she is on the Broncos roster, on the Broncos payroll, I support the shit out of them, no matter who they are. I support you. I will be there, and I do not wish ill will on anybody who's ever worn anything with the Broncos. But we're in a 3-8 situation, and we're just trying to be realistic about what is going to happen. I want to stand by. I want right now. I want to go on a 8-game win streak. How many games? That's not how many. How many games have we got left in the season? 5,
6.
I want to go on a 6-game win streak. We still won't make the playoffs.
No,
but I want to go on a 6-week. I want to go on a 6-week win streak with Hackett and Russ, and I want to come back next year being like, okay, they finally figured it out. But the realistic situation is that should have started 2 weeks ago when we played the Raiders, and it should have started last week when we played the Panthers.
And it's not going to start when we
Panthers.
play the Ravens this week. That for
right,
sure.
and it's not going. And we're definitely not beating Kansas City twice.
Oh,
so there's things that are happening right now in our world, and I want to support everybody. I want to go 6-0 for the rest of the time, but I'm also trying to be realistic here and understand that things are going to change.
Say "but" again.
But
no.
Oh.
But
it just when you said but never mind. We're moving past it. It's over.
I bet he's gonna say but again tonight.
Better.
There are many things you can bet on, and that's one of them. And there's other things that you can bet on, such as football with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. They are my go-to guys when it comes to sports betting, and to be honest, I honestly use it. It's my go-to for a number of reasons. I've tried the other sports books, and I always just keep going back to DraftKings because how user-friendly the app is. The things like the same game parlays and all that other stuff, the quick payouts. It just makes it really user-friendly. You can watch the action of the game and see the updated bet lines really quickly, adjust bets, make new bets. And whatnot. So they are my go-to for those reasons and many more. But I want to tell you this, right now, guys, new customers can bet just $5 on any NFL team to win their game, like maybe whoever's playing the Broncos that week, and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out, guys. Right now, everybody, not just new customers, everybody can earn up to 100% boost with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays. All you need to do is go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same-game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, player props, point totals, and more. And the more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Here's how you get into this, guys. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code TPPN. Place a $5 bet on any NFL team to win their game, like the Ravens, and get $150 in free bets if they do. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code TPPN. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
I'm going to bet on the Ravens right now.
Do it.
All the same game parlays right now. The quick same game parlays are all for the Ravens.
Yeah.
There's a Denver Broncos first half because we've been doing so well there. Under 8.5 total points in the first quarter.
Yeah, we're not.
And under 38.5 total points. Now, guys, I legit, we talk about DraftKings. We have the promo. We have the walkthrough. But, guys, if you guys aren't using DraftKings, it is where it's at, 8.5. Anytime that we're using, when we're talking about our sports bets, when we're on our shows, talk about like, Okay, who's favorited? 8.5 point spread right now. We're always using DraftKings. That's where we're at. So step up with those same game parlays. Check out DraftKings. Make sure you're signing up using TPPN. Speaking
Make
of
money.
which, 8.5, 8.5 points. They're expecting Lamar Jackson to run all over us.
And why not? I mean,
That's-
the Panthers did.
Well,
can you imagine if they still had Christian McCaffrey? Like, oh, it would have been so much worse. It would have been so. They ran the ball.
we got lucky that we got to
times?
play. We got lucky that we got to play San Francisco without Christian McCaffrey and Carolina without Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that was a good one for us. At least we beat one of those teams.
Yeah.
We escaped one bullet this year, that's for sure. Jeez.
Oh boy.
There's a guy on TikTok tracking the number of Russell Wilson touchdowns versus the number of bathrooms in his house. Bathrooms are still up 12-8.
Yep.
And for the record, one of those I think two of those touchdown passes, or at least one of them, was like a shovel pass that should not have been given to him as a touchdown pass.
Yep. But no, it's awesome because he always is like incredibly like angry and stoic during the videos. He's like, and during this week's,
I
like, Russell Wilson is at 8.
Did you guys watch Dez's? Did you guys watch his Dez's clip after the Raiders? She just looks so defeated, and she's so funny. She's like, I don't know what to say, guys. Like
Poor Dez. There was the meme she posted. It was like, how I feel walking into the store wearing my Broncos gear, and the picture is like, guy like, don't look at me, and I'm like, yeah, that summarizes my life. Like, I'm gonna wear it because I love the team, but ignore me. Like, I don't want to talk about it. Don't judge me.
I am a shoo-in for the ugly Christmas sweater for my Broncos sweater for our holiday Christmas party, our work Christmas party. I'm a shoo-in.
I love it.
I think you're a shoo-in to cry at some point that evening because of the taunts that you will receive.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I've heard "Let's Ride" more times than I ever want to hear in my life. So sick and tired of it. But it is what it is, and we were talking before the show about if anybody watch or listens to the podcast NFL Daily or ESPN Daily, I think it is. And Alex Smith was on there on Monday night or on Sunday night, Monday morning's episode, and talking about how it got to a point where the Denver Broncos somehow in the past 5-6 years, the Denver Broncos have become the joke of the NFL. Like, people are already dubbing this the trade, the 3-8 record as one of the worst trades in history. And he said it's going to take another year of Russell Wilson to figure out whether or not this was actually the worst trade in NFL history. But we sold the farm, and we have to live in the bed that we laid and that we made, and that's it. We just roll.
That's my farm.
Roll. That's my farm.
It wasn't much. We had some soybeans, a good wheat crop, but it was honest work.
It was honest work. And they just gave it away.
It's gone.
Gave it away for nothing. It's gone.
Steve Snicker comes in with his fancy football, and he can't do anything.
Oh, man.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
We're all fine.
We're good.
Everything's fine. Hey, and we actually didn't mention this on the show. It did come out about 30 minutes before we went live that, yes, the Chiefs game on December 30th got flexed out of prime time. Thank God.
There is
not because of the temperature,
at the holiday
because
time.
I want as few people to see what's going to happen as possible. I will be there, but I still want a few people to see that as possible.
It'll be painful. We'll it'll happen, but at least it'll happen away from a national television audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and so that's something that Alex Smith said too on the podcast. And I'm kind of quoting it because it was really good, but he talked about how he was like, it probably wouldn't be as embarrassing for the Broncos if we weren't in so many primetime games, and like literally the nation has been watching us just fall apart. Ultimately, just not do anything. And I think the Thursday night game was at the Colts. There was like the most punts, and like I think it was 6-6 going into overtime or something ridiculous. Like, it was just the most ridiculous. Like, in national television, people are watching us just not be able to do anything on offense, and it's gotten to the point where it's embarrassing. So it's super happy we got flexed out of another primetime embarrassment.
Yeah, NBC probably also very, very happy to exercise that flexibility. You got Dolphins Chargers going to be on. That'll be a fun one. Yeah,
It will be.
mm-hmm.
Was it since the concussion that Tua had? He's thrown for 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and over 1,200 yards. So, yeah, he's looking pretty good.
What was the stat that somebody has more touchdowns than Russell Wilson and he's been injured for the last 6 weeks or something like that?
Who was that? It wasn't Sam Darnold. It was
not Carson Wentz, was it?
It was Carson Wentz.
Wentz, yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's thrown 10 touchdowns and he hasn't played since week 6 or something like that, or whatever it is. Yeah.
Oh, it's probably Flacco too, though. Flacco balled out for a couple of games there.
He did.
It was. Yeah. Oh, and Mike White's probably getting close at this point. He just did, everything. Everything hurts.
Everything hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Everything hurts.
Well, let's look. As much as this pains us to be in this position, we do have a game on Sunday.
Yeah,
going out to Baltimore. The Baltimore Ravens just lost to the Jaguars, so they're a little pissed off. They're probably going to come out a little angry.
That's great for us.
Yeah, they don't have it's not like
it's really that kid in the back of the bus. I'm in danger.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not like they've got a really effective run game or receivers that can beat busted coverages deep and a good tight end and
a decent defense.
A really decent defense, which you don't need against this offense. They don't have an incredibly strong pass rush. So there's that.
Ooh.
They have an average to below average pass rush this year. So,
well, unfortunately for us, we have a below average offensive line.
That's true. Yeah,
balance.
Yeah, it's even Stevens.
Even Stevens.
It's the hit early aughts show Even Stevens with Shia LaBeouf. Everybody loves that.
I love
show.
Shia.
Yeah, you would.
You would.
Anyway,
what that means. He's on my top 8.
I think you know what it means. Anyway, yeah. So then let's talk about it, fellas. Let's be drunk enough to do this.
Let's take Clayton's question here.
Okay.
So, regardless of the end of the game, let's talk about who we think should surprise us going in this game. And I'm going to go first because I'm going to steal everybody's because I think he's been playing super well. Kendall Hinton. I think Kendall Hinton has been getting a lot of targets. He's been catching the balls. He's actually been fighting for more yards. He, on the offense, is the one person as I watch has the heart to be able to fight for those extra yards still. I don't think I've seen it from anybody else. And I like that, where Hinton stands here. And I want to continue to see him continue to press because I think he's playing very well and I think he has the heart. And that's why I love to see him succeed in a team that's not doing well. And he's getting his opportunity because of the injuries, which I love.
Yeah. I'm going to go next so that Kevin doesn't steal my player, which I didn't think he would anyway, but just in case. I'm going to say Alex Singleton. I'm going to say he goes in there and his job is to spy Lamar Jackson all game long, and he does a great job. And he keeps Lamar Jackson under 50 yards rushing, and he is just wrecking the Ravens offense all day. That's what. I'll tell you why Kevin wasn't going to say that, because it's absurd.
I was about to say I think Clayton's asking us to live in real world and not fantasy land, David.
I am trying
right now.
And even as I was saying all of that and trying to think of a real player that I could not. So, because yours was really good, and
that's why I stole it first.
Yeah. Give me Jalen Virgil. Give me Jalen Virgil again. Throw him out there some more. He got, first time touchdown on his first play. It was a busted coverage, but he did what he was supposed to do. He caught the ball and ran it into the end zone, and more of that from anyone on the team ever at all, please. There's your real one.
There's your
Yeah,
real
thank
one.
you. I appreciate that. Kevin, you've been kind of quiet over there.
I am. First off, offense. I'm riding on Kendall Hinton, man. I really just love to see what he's doing and see if he can continue to improve, right?
Cheater.
So I know, right? I'm going to, because I can't, out of all the crap that goes on within the Broncos right now, okay, when Kendall Hinton gets the ball, it's just exciting, right? I don't know, I love the guy. I love his passion. I think he's one of the few players that really are just playing for the team and trying to do everything he can, right? You see what's expected of him and what he's actually doing. And he's a kind of player that, man, you should be looking to him and his work ethic and his attitude, because that's the type of player, that we need to have all the other players kind of reflect off of or whatnot, So I don't know. I can't help but think like, well, I can't get excited about the running backs or the offensive line, or most wide receivers. So we got Kendall Hinton. Like there's not much else. Defense, who's going to surprise us? That one's tough too. I don't know. Defensive line was pretty disappointing last week. So, I mean, don't say PJ Locke. I think he's going to make a play. I think he's going to get an interception, maybe even a pick six. I don't know.
How about that? Pick six. You heard it here first. Kevin
Clayton,
guarantees pick six will be the headline tomorrow.
Clayton, who do you got? I kind of want to hear from you guys and see what you guys got. Who's your, like, all of you, who's your surprise player? Who's the player that you're going to see come out and step up? Defensively, I don't know, man. Like, man, it was nice seeing Simmons back out there. It was real interesting. If you guys watched the pregame, I'm going to toot my own horn here a little bit. And,
Toot it.
If you watched the pregame, I did talk about how the one thing that the Raiders did very well is because of the way that we run our defense is we kind of run like a shade, which means on one side of the field you're running man, and on the other side you're running some sort of zone concept. Because of the situation, we always have PS2 who can man up pretty much anybody in this league. The problem when you run in that is if you have deep crossers, if you have a guy that could sit in the pocket for a long time, and you run deep crossers, that guy ends up on the opposite side of the field, 20 yards down the field. You have one guy following him, which means you leave an open area in one zone because that guy left because he's now across the field. And that guy crossing the field, if he has a step on him, that zone's not covering him. So what Raiders end up doing was just running those deep crossers all day on us, which is what that final score and the touchdown on the was it overtime in Raiders? Not overtime. The last touchdown, whatever, on the drive. That was a deep crosser. So, and then you come out and you see the Carolina Panthers run the exact same play and work. So it's hard. It's hard. Evero's defense is starting to get. I'm interested to see how Evero bounced back. So here's my surprise. Like, it's interesting to see how Evero bounces back now that two teams in a row have run the exact same offensive plays on him successfully to be able to score and drive down the field. Let's see how he adjusts his defensive calls, because it's worked through the first 6 or 7 weeks, and now you're not able to work that anymore because people have figured out what you're doing. Let's see how we adjust and how we bounce back.
Yeah.
Fire. Comes the fire. See, linebackers flying to the ball and spying. Aha! See, Clayton doesn't think it's ridiculous. Yeah, spy.
Yeah, because we have super great inside linebackers, right, David?
Give it up with the inside linebackers. Jared will be here. We will be here at 3-8 with the second best scoring defense in the NFL, and Jared will just be inside.
We could do better at linebackers.
For life.
Okay, we could still do better.
Of course, we could do better. You could have Ray Lewis in there with who's the Dolphins guy, Zach Thomas or Brian Urlacher. you can have a rotation of the three of them in there. But it's not going to happen. It's just let it go.
Why not?
Release it. There's bigger
Look at
problems.
Jared's face. Jared's about to go crazy. Like,
I understand, Jared.
Can you imagine?
Why don't we get an offensive line first, and then we'll talk about the inside linebackers?
Wow. I like it.
Wow. Okay.
We had an offensive line.
We had.
Week one.
Then we had another.
Week one,
and another.
And then we had
we're on our
more. Yeah.
seventh
Now we've had
iteration.
86.
Yeah, technically, I'm 86 years.
Oh
Jeez.
dear.
Well, hey, before we start
man.
wrapping things up, guys, let me remind you of all of the awesome content we have here at Orange Weekly. Of course, this show starts at 7 p.m. Mountain Time on Tuesdays. And then we got our Monday night show, Orange Weekly After Dark, starting after Monday Night Football. We also got our pregame show, our halftime show, pregame podcast, postgame podcast, and a bunch of other stuff. Make sure you're following us on Facebook, Twitter, all those good places. And I do want to shout out, as we most usually do here at Orange Weekly, call out Clayton for all of the stars and support that he gives us. Don't feel like you have to donate any stars to us. You guys just being here and watching and interacting is huge support enough all on its own. If you want to do a little extra and donate some stars, it's great. If you don't want to even give us any money and you want to still find a way to do something, if you could go to one of those podcast platforms and give us that 5-star review, that helps us out a ton as well. It gives us more credibility, and it just helps people find us better and all that stuff too. So definitely helps us out a lot to do that. But at the end of the day, guys, we're going to keep doing this stuff as long as you guys keep showing up and talking. So Jared's laughing. I don't know what just happened, but I think that's it. And we're glad to be here with you guys.
I'm gonna give the opposite sell from Kevin there. I am gonna go a little bit on the hard sell and say, give us money. Give us lots of give us lots
money.
Of money.
Money me.
Give money me now.
Now.
Money now,
Clayton,
please.
Clayton's been killing it with the stars. Clayton, we got to hit you up with some free merch, man. We got to get some merch out there, and we got to get you some merch, man. You've been a OG supporter. We appreciate you and all the stars you're giving on us on Facebook. So we definitely appreciate you. We can get him more
sticker,
than a sticker,
maybe a little
David,
bit more.
I think a sticker might be a little too little, David.
All right. Okay. A sticker and one of those little eraser tops for your pencil.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now we're talking. Now, I decided as a funsies to go through Twitter and see what people are talking about with Russell Wilson.
No.
You want to hear some of the best ones?
No, yes. I don't.
Yes, I do.
So there's a couple ones about the flex. The Denver Broncos have done the impossible, flexing Patrick Mahomes out of national television. Congratulations, fellas. They really flexed Patrick Mahomes out of primetime because Russell Wilson has been that unwatchable. And then into some funny ones. If you've had sex 9 times since September 12th, you've scored more than Russell Wilson. Let's see. Russell Wilson's so unwatchable that the NFL flexed Patrick Mahomes out of primetime. That seems like the going rate here. Yeah, that's pretty much the best one. Hackett, I told Russ he's got to stop saying things like it's Russell Wilson time when his team's losing 17-3 to the Panthers. It's upset, guys.
It's upset, guys.
Okay. Well, anyways, back to our final thoughts.
Yeah, go for it. David, let's start with you, man. What you got for us?
I am sad, obviously. Aren't we all sad?
Yes.
But, it's going to be different next year. That's something to look forward to. I know it's hard to look forward when you still got 6 games left in the season and 2 games against the Chiefs, but that's also kind of why you have to look forward, because you've got 6 games left in this season and 2 of them are against the Chiefs. So yeah, you never want to see the players give up on a season, but as a fan, to protect your own emotions, to protect yourself, it's okay. Go limp. Go dead inside.
Just go dead inside.
you're going to watch these games. You're going to tune in every week. We all are. So for your own mental health, just know that next year it's going to be different, and maybe that'll be better, and maybe it won't. But you've got something a glimmer to hold on to, and you should hold on to that.
I like it, man. Jared, what do you think, man?
We suck. and the glimmer that David has, normally I'm the glimmer guy. Normally I'm the guy that's like, guys, there's good things to see here. There's a lot to see here. I don't know the answer. And people who say they do are wrong. And I'm okay saying it. And I think that if you listen to anybody who says fixing the coaching situation is going to make the magic change, if you think that changing play callers is going to be the magic change, you're living in a fantasy world and you want things to be better. And I want to go back to, finally, on my last piece, I want to say something I said earlier because I think we've been very negative this episode. We are a 3-8 team. We're just as frustrated as the team, I think, right now. I will support anybody who's wearing a Denver Broncos uniform right now. I want Russell Wilson to go out there and throw 3 touchdowns. I want him to lead this team. I want the defense I want to shut out a team.
Yeah.
But I'm also a realist. So yeah. I want everybody here at Orange Weekly, and I think I speak for all of us, saying no matter who it is, I will never negatively say anything personally about that person. I can say something about their performance, but I will never personally say anything negative about somebody because they were a Bronco. And once a Bronco, always a Bronco. And I support you. And if you are currently wearing the uniform or currently on the payroll, I will support you. And I wish the best for you, regardless of the situation. I know we're out of the playoffs, but I want to go 6-0 for the rest of the league. And I want you guys to succeed and go somewhere else and succeed. We have to be able to support our players, and we have to be able to support our team. And if we can't, then what are we doing as fans? That's really what it is.
Well said. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, for me, I think, guys, if we want to see quick change, we need to change the play caller and we need to get a new head coach, and that's going to fix it overnight. So I think that's really the direction we need to go. I also thought at this point I'd get a reaction out of Jared, but I haven't, so I don't even know if he's listening to me.
What do you talk? He said shoot a hostage. What kind of reaction are you looking for that you didn't get?
Sure, he'd be like, I'm going to be the hostage that gets shot first, aren't I?
Oh, they're going to have to aim pretty low.
Oh,
it's random.
David. It's random. Right? Yeah, like random drug testing in the military. Sure, it is. Yeah,
random drug testing anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've been on your analysis a lot lately. I wonder what's going on.
They've been watching the show.
No, but probably. In all honesty, guys, look. Enjoy the fact that Broncos football is still on. You can sit there and scream at the TV and get mad and get frustrated, and
you'll miss it in June.
You're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it, real quickly. So just enjoy the fact that you still get to watch football. It may not be great football, but it's still football. And look, this team will turn it around eventually. I know it doesn't feel like it, guys, but this isn't going to be the way this team is forever. Okay. Eventually, this team will get going. This team will make some good runs. This team will win another Super Bowl eventually. Multiple Super Bowls. Okay? So it sucks now in the moment, but I tell you what, when we are winning again, it's going to feel so much better. That all of you guys sitting here watching the show with us, you're going to be the ones that are sitting there like, oh, this is, it's going to be a completely different feeling than somebody who decided to start cheering for the Broncos when they were winning, and then moved on when they weren't. So appreciate all of you guys sticking with us, sticking with the team. And that's really what makes football fun is all of us hanging out together with you all. So, aside from winning, that would be nice, but this year that's what's making it fun is you guys. So, but, cool guys. Anything else you guys want to add?
I think we've said it all, pal.
We haven't said it all.
We haven't said it all. We said it all.
We've said a lot.
There's one thing left to say.
Yes. One thing.
Regardless of how it's looking, regardless of how we are, we will always, 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 always say,
Go
Go Broncos.
Take care, guys. We'll see y'all later.
Do what I like, yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow, cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, in the zone, here I go, yeah, they know